size to supersize and grow your business. And today I want to talk about, of course, the 9 life framework areas: physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, financial, relationships, contribution, communication, and confidence. Contribution was one of my big 7. I call them the big 7, and now I call them the 9 life framework areas, because in 2021, following the pandemic, I added 2 areas, communication and confidence, to the framework that I use to manage my life, my businesses, pretty much everything. And I share it with everybody because it's been so powerful and so helpful to me in my life. So today we're talking about how do all of these different areas interact with contribution, because that's the area we're focusing on this month. Well, the different areas are physical, and I'm not going to describe them all. Physical is like your body, your health, your energy. Mental, I guess I am. Learning, clarity, and mindset. Emotional is resilience, awareness, inner peace. Spiritual is beliefs, values, connection to something greater. Financial is earning, saving, spending, giving, investing, etc. Relationships is all about personal, professional, family, business, etc. Communication is expression, listening, impact. Confidence, belief in yourself, and courage. And then contribution is how you give, serve, and impact others as part of your organization, as part of your business, and to gain a competitive advantage, because it's one of the most powerful ways to do that. Because most businesses are just trying to survive and be in business. They don't ever realize that what you put out into the world is what comes back to you. So if you give not just value to your customers, but to the communities that you operate in and to causes that are important to you, that attracts the right people with the same type of giving mindset to you. And that is an incredibly powerful way to supersize and grow your business. So how do we do this interaction exercise? I'll show you how I do it. I, in my handy dandy journal for the annual challenge, just write contribution at the top of the page, and then each of the different 9 areas down in the left-hand column. And as I go about my day, I pay attention to and I notice a couple of things. Number 1, I ask myself a couple of questions as part of this exercise. How does this area support or drain my ability to contribute? So physically, if I am not taking care of myself, and I was a prime example of this in the 2000s to 2010 era, I wasn't taking care of myself, and I was running on empty, and there were certain areas and aspects of my life that I was totally ignoring, and one of them was my physical wealth and well-being. And being so low in energy, I wasn't able to contribute in ways that I would have liked to during that time period. And then we ask ourselves the reverse of that. How does my contribution affect this area? How does me contributing and giving to the outside world, or interacting with the outside world in ways that benefit the outside world, that also benefit me, of course, because that's the reciprocation or reciprocal part of giving. What we give is what comes back to us. What we put out into the world is what comes back to us. That's why we always want to put positive energy and good things out into the world. That's why we want to set an example, not be a warning. Because if we're being a warning, we're putting bad things out into the world, negativity out into the world, evil out into the world, and that's what we're going to get back. It might not come back directly, immediately from the person we didn't treat right or fairly, but it's going to come back. I guarantee it. I didn't make this up. It's a universal law. So we want to do that. And then as part of the exercise then today is I ask myself a question for each of these different areas. So for example, physically, do I have energy to serve well? Mental, am I mentally clear and focused on meaningful causes? Is our organization focused on choosing causes that make sense for us as an organization? Emotionally, do I give from peace or from pressure? Do I feel obligated to give? Does our organization feel obligated to give? Do we have to do it? Or do we do it because it's the right thing to do and we want to do it? Spiritual, is our contribution aligned with our deeper beliefs and core values as an organization? Financial, can we give money or time comfortably? There are times when we're building our business, and we're just as individuals as well, where we have no time, but we have resources. And other times when we have no resources, but we have lots of time. I think back of like when I was a student, I had a lot more time than I did financial resources. Relationships, who do we uplift and who uplifts us as an organization? Communication, Are we expressing the desire to serve? And are we sharing when we do serve to encourage others to do the same? Other businesses in our industry. Again, we want to be an example for the world, not a warning. And finally, confidence. Do we believe that we have value to offer the world and others and things outside of us? Well, of course we do, especially when we're looking at our businesses and our organizations. We have exponential value and skills and abilities and things to offer. And then today, as part of the Be a Better You annual challenge, we're just journaling our insights. What do we notice? What do we see? What do we uncover and discover about our organization and contribution? And do we really believe that it can be a competitive advantage for us? I will say, if you don't believe it, do a little research and look around. Look around the internet. See the companies that people love and are just drawn to, and how they talk about and share those companies and those organizations and the people in those organizations and the good that they're putting into the world. It is incredibly valuable. And maybe it's not up your alley. Maybe you don't believe that you need to contribute and give back. Then don't listen to me about this. But I will tell you, it is an incredible way to connect with the people that you really want to serve. All right. Have a great day. I'll, of course, be with you tomorrow.